This is All India Radio. In the program Spotlight, now we bring you a discussion on special package of 520 crore rupees and other initiatives for economic development in Jammu and Kashmir. The participants are Shekhar Iyer, political analyst, and AIR correspondent Renu Kataria.
The Union Cabinet chaired by the Prime Minister has approved a special package worth rupees 520 crore in the Union territories of Jammu and Kashmir and Ladakh for a period of 5 years till financial year 2023-24 and ensure funding of Deen Dayal Antyodaya Yojana, National Rural Livelihoods Mission in the Union territories on a demand-driven basis without linking allocation with poverty ratio during this extended period. So, Mr. Iyer, how will the package boost the economy, making it self-reliant and further ease of living for the newly created Union territories of Jammu and Kashmir and Ladakh?
This is a very special package. And the most important part is it is in now for the UT of Jammu and Kashmir. And it has been de-linked from the earlier poverty-related, because situation in Jammu and Kashmir as far as development is concerned is different from the rest of India. That is one. And number two, what we are seeing all India allocation, what Jammu Kashmir was getting. So this is a special package. And assessment undertaken by the Institute of Rural Management, Anand. And it has brought out that some predictions have come. So on that basis, this is to see that income levels go up, there is a more improved assets, and then essentially this particular scheme is to increase the women's self-help groups. So therefore, this allocation is going to help in that direction. Because already this program was being implemented under called the UMI program. So since the share of Jammu Kashmir was less than 1% of the annual allocation, now so special package is to speed up the efforts and to reach out to more families for tackling the very specified problems in Jammu and Kashmir.
Sir, the Union Home Minister Amit Shah also in a tweet said that the package will give a huge boost to the economy of the two Union territories and empower over 10 lakh women in rural areas by giving them livelihood and making them self-reliant. You just spoke about self-help groups and women empowerment. And we also know, as for technical reasons, very few women were identified and eligible in Jammu and Kashmir and Ladakh for the programs. So your views on this?
Now what will happen is, now with this kind of allocation, with 520 crores to be spent in the next 3-4 years, this is going in terms of financial resource, there is no dearth of resources. But the idea is to reach out to more people, because as we know that Deen Dayal Antyodaya Yojana, which is the National Rural Livelihood Mission, is a centrally sponsored program. And the idea is that families should have multiple livelihoods. And that is done through one woman member from each of these rural poor households. They will be inducted into these self-help groups. They will undergo training and capacity building. And then micro livelihoods in this particular Jammu and Kashmir area will be chosen and selected and trained, so that from the banks and institutions, this money will be made available to these self-help groups so that they can start economic activity which will tackle various livelihoods in that particular region. Now, this Jammu and Kashmir has a very unique potential which will be tapped by the self-help groups. And we also know that this particular program, the National Rural Livelihood Program, it is to be done in a mission mode and require to reach out at the block level, then at the district level, and so that every member of that rural poor family is identified and given assistance.
Sir, the special package for the Deen Dayal Antyodaya Yojana, the National Rural Livelihoods Mission, followed an announcement of an economic package of rupees 1,350 crores announced by Jammu and Kashmir Lieutenant Governor Manoj Sinha on 19 September to give a boost to tourism and other sectors which were hit by COVID-19 pandemic. So can you elaborate on this?
So the idea of that is to give assistance, whether it is the houseboat industry or whether it is tour and taxi operators. So the whole idea is that they have to be immediately protected from this kind of hardship that they are facing. Because virtually nothing is working, because there are no tourists coming, there are hotel industries in a bad shape. I did mention about the houseboat industry, taxi operators, some of the resorts which are winter sport resorts as well as summer sport resorts, they are also heavily affected. So this whole package given by the state is to particularly take care of the problems faced by these operators. So therefore the state government had announced a package they can take care of not only whatever the industry is facing, and the government has also waived part of this package. They had waived off 50% of electricity and water bills for a year. And this will cover everybody, not only businesses, but farmers and families. This itself is a very big thing. And also along with that, they are also considering other entities, which are there. They will also be taken care of. And Lieutenant Governor had announced that 2% interest subvention. So those who have taken loan for anything, they will be taken care of. And they also decided to give an interest subvention of 5% without any discrimination, whether they are small industry or medium industry. Now, this is a very unprecedented decision, 1,350 crore package, so that not only the immediate impact that has been caused by the COVID is taken care of, because some of the industry has been suffering some time because of the security situation and all that. And in this 1,350, the Union Territory is going to directly provide 950 crore. And also, Lieutenant Governor had announced that stamp duty has been exempted up to March next year. And this economic package that was announced is in tune with the Prime Minister's Atmanirbhar Bharat Abhiyan.
We now talk about the business sector, the horticulture, the tourism, the florist and the other sectors of Jammu and Kashmir and Ladakh. So how will this package boost these sectors?
See, we already know that in terms of, tourist potential, the COVID-19 had, along with the shutdown, we have seen has dealt a severe blow to tourism in Jammu, Kashmir and Ladakh. And if you look at the figures, the number of tourists to Jammu, Kashmir, which stood at about 25 lakh domestic tourists and 5,000 and odd foreign tourists. Till June 2020. After that, we have seen that in terms of this has fallen drastically. 1.62 crore visitors came to Jammu and Kashmir in the year 2019. So therefore, there has been such a big fall in arrivals. Now, till the COVID situation gets even better, the fresh arrivals are not very likely. People will be still hesitant. So therefore, we have heard from the tourist operators themselves that there has been a severe fall in the tourist arrival. So they need some help in terms of deferment of their loan, subvention of their interest. So these are something that is needed. And so that till there is a gradual revival and some help is needed so that they can overcome till such time as, because many of the tourist operators are also looking at winter tourism, because the state also attracts a lot of winter tourists who are keen to go to winter spots like Gulmarg. So one is to see that some of the job loss can be again revived, and in the meantime some financial cushion is provided to the local industry so that they can hopefully build up on their strength and look forward to a better season when the summer arrives, which is going to be another 5-6 months away. So therefore this package that has been talked about by the Jammu and Kashmir government is essentially to take care of that they are ready when actually situation improves, and in the meantime they get that breathing space and that breathing support, which is actually the package is hoping to do by waiving off electricity dues and other dues, so that whatever they owe to the government can be waived off and other support can be given so that they are able to stand on their own legs when the actual season starts.
Sir, today the central government has taken another important decision where Road Transport and Highways Minister Nitin Gadkari initiated simultaneous blastings for Jozila Tunnel in Jammu and Kashmir. This is a geo-strategically sensitive project in one of the most dangerous stretches in the world to drive a vehicle. How will this tunnel bring an all-round economic and socio-cultural integration of Jammu and Kashmir and Ladakh?
Now, this is a very major announcement today at the decision to the Union Transport Minister is launching the first blasting for the construction work. Now, Jozila Tunnel is going to give all-weather connectivity between Srinagar and Leh. So this is a very important thing. And actually blasting means, blowing up or breaking up the rock with explosives, because that is how you start constructing the tunnel. Now, the project holds strategic significance because Jozila Pass is situated at an altitude of 11,578 feet. And it is on the Srinagar-Kargil-Leh National Highway. And during winter, it is always closed due to heavy snowfall. And it is considered to be one of the most dangerous stretches in the world to drive. So this project is geostrategically sensitive, as you mentioned, because one, this is going to provide all-weather connectivity between Srinagar Valley and Leh, which is located in the Ladakh Plateau on the National Highway number 1. And the fact this tunnel is constructed, what we are going to see is this will lead to a saving of at least 4,000 crores in terms of to the public exchequer. Now, in terms of engineering, it's going to be a marvel because it involves the construction of 14.15 long tunnel. And, what will happen, not only in terms of the defense of the country, and we are seeing already a lot of military activities on our borders in Ladakh, Gilgit and Baltistan. So even we're keeping all that in view, and the fact that this tunnel project has been the demand for people living in Kargil, Dras and Ladakh region. The travel time will be reduced between Srinagar Valley and Leh, that is at least by 3 hours and 15 minutes. So this is a very big thing. And we all know the Prime Minister Modi ji had, in mid-2018, had laid the foundation stone. And now the work has started and the idea is to complete as fast as possible. And in fact, we are just seeing the Prime Minister inaugurate the Atal Tunnel, which is a significant thing, which we saw just on October 3rd. Which is actually the Rohtang Tunnel, which was slated to have been completed by May 2020, but got delayed because of pandemic, but finally got completed. Now, this tunnel itself is also considered very strategic importance because it provided an alternative to Rohtang Pass. Similarly, the Zojila Tunnel will provide an alternative to the current highway, which is the Zojila Pass.
The government has started the third phase of Back to Village program. The first two were very successful and where even our Prime Minister appreciated one of his Man Ki Baat programs. Mr. Iyer, how is the program bridging the governance gap between the people and the government?
This Back to Village program in Jammu and Kashmir. The idea is that the role of NGOs, social help groups and various groups and associations who are working for development in the village areas, this is bringing back the emphasis because often we have seen a top-to-down approach, where everything is decided in the state capital or at the district level. But here the idea is the Back to Village program is, energizing the panchayats, empowering them, getting feedback on how the government programs are being delivered at the field level, and then trying to locate the specific economic potential and by undertaking the assessment of the needs of the villages. So the Back to Village is actually top officials going down to the villages, engaging the panchayats and panchayat members to get a complete assessment. What is the public feeling about these programs? Basically, Back to Village is actually to get the grassroots level feedback. And in Jammu and Kashmir, we saw soon after it was Article 370 was made inoperative in Jammu and Kashmir, we saw the top officials led by the Chief Secretary himself and other senior officials, they started with some of the inaccessible villages to get the feedback. Jammu and Kashmir, I am referring particularly because some of the places are not easily accessible around the year. Many of the officials, the administrative apparatus, almost trying to reach more than 4,000 of those panchayats to get the feedback. And that feedback was very important because that gave an idea as to what exactly is happening in terms of the government projects at the local level. Otherwise, we do not know because often it is felt that, once the allocations are made, then the implementation takes place at the various levels. But to go to the people and see their response or feedback is a very important input to the actual implementation of these various development schemes.
The Lieutenant Governor recently mentioned about involving Panchayati Raj institutions and local public for formulation of development plans. So I want to know your views on this.
The best way to make this Back to the Village program a very important element because you will be able to identify areas which need self-employment and then look for those skill gaps. See, what is happening today is many of the programs require the local youth to be trained to get that skill development so that they can take advantage because then you can identify the local arts and crafts. And some places they require some traditional skill training so that they can generate self-employment. In fact, in the last 3 months, we have seen more than 200 local youth and particularly girls have undergone training for village entrepreneurship. So I think this is a very important scheme. And at the village level, when this program is undertaken, we have also seen distribution of Kisan credit cards. Many places, sport kits have been distributed. The youth of Jammu and Kashmir are very keen to develop themselves in sports. And sometimes they need some very basic sport kits, harness their talents. And repeatedly, we have seen the Lieutenant Governor Manoj Sinha particularly emphasizing that there is no lack of funds.
Thank you so much, Mr. Iyer.
You were listening to a discussion on special package of 520 crore rupees and other initiatives for economic development in Jammu and Kashmir. The participants were Shekhar Iyer, political analyst, and AIR correspondent Renu Kataria. This program was produced and presented by the News Services Division of All India Radio. You can listen to it on our mobile app News on AIR. This program is also available on our website newsonair.com. You may email your opinion about this program at airnsttalks@gmail.com.